All right. You muted yourself.
Admonishment, self-admonishment. What is going on, everyone? Welcome in. Sorry we're running late. A little technical difficulties, but we are here. Spaz, how are you doing tonight?
I'm fantastic. Ready for this weekend and excited for our guest tonight.
That's right.
Been working on this one for a while.
That's right. Got past the technical difficulties, so let's go ahead and bring on our guest. And we appreciate all the time he has for us here. So everyone, welcome in, Big Dave.
Hey, I got all night. Let's go. Let's do it.
I don't like to hear that.
He's at the bar and he's kicking it, and he's got all night. He's in Eugene chilling.
I love this place. It's such a, what I like to say is peaceful here compared to LA. You know?
Oh, yeah. Much peacefuler.
Great people. It's just so, the trees, man. The trees will grow on you. You know?
Yeah. Yes, sir, they will. I grew up down there.
It's getting to fall right now, too, so it's going to start changing.
Yeah, I got this big old black coat on.
Yeah, I grew up down there in, I grew up Albany, Lebanon, Eugene area. I've been a Duck fan since I was a kid. We lived like 5 miles from Reser Stadium.
Wow.
Part of growing up, and I hated the Beavers. My parents always wanted to take me to the Beaver game. And I don't want to go there. I want to go to the other one, the big school.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm because my son went there, and I'm just so grateful for what, Coach Smith and those guys at the Oregon State, what they did for my son DJ. I'm always going to be a Duck fan and a Beaver fan.
Yeah, I cheer for the Beavers when they're not playing us.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they always say. That's what they always say about with the Civil Wars. It's the house divided because a lot of the people there are, one went to Oregon State, one went to University of Oregon. So
that's true.
Just kind of how it is.
That's right.
So how you enjoy staying in Eugene now?
I love it here. I love it here. It's what I love. It's a small town, right? And it's everyone knows everyone, and the football is a big deal here. And I love that. I love when I have a couple of the nephews with me. When I have Pancho, Lipe, and Mateo, we go out to eat, and people looking at us like, "Oh, it's got to be the football players, these big monsters looking at." And they like to stay low key. I'm like, hey, this is the Ducks here, guys. Go Ducks. And they're looking at me. There goes Mateo's crazy dad. And hey, look, you guys give what the fans what they want. If they want signed autograph, and they will do it. And that's why I do it for, because it's the whole reason why I want them to win. Hopefully, if they get an opportunity to win a national championship, is for all the people like y'all that's been here for so long and never had the opportunity to win one. My dream and goal is that these guys will bring the first, national championship to Eugene and the people of Eugene and all the Duck fans. I've been a fan, but since my kid has been here, I'm a diehard Duck now.
Yeah, I was listening to Zach and Travis earlier, and Jeffrey, and they were talking about that, and Jeff was like, worst case scenario, you got to find a way at the end of the year, this year, to get all these guys together and say, okay, let's come back and do it that one more year so that we can get to that promised land if you don't reach that goal today.
My best case scenario with these guys this year, right? We make it to the national championship game, and we lose on the last play. And then everybody is like,
don't do that to me.
No.
and then they're all going to say, you know what? We need to come back.
We
'Cause
got to run
almost
it back.
had it. We got to run
We
it
got to
back.
run it back.
We got to run it back. That's kind of like the only reason why. Because if we win it this year, I don't know, man.
Yeah, everybody's gone. Yeah, I sail off into the sunset, into the NFL.
Well, you
get
know,
drafted. Yeah,
I really think our quarterback, I think he's going to stay one more year. You know, I don't know. Unless he's like the first pick. Oh, you got to go, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way too. I feel like if he has that, unless we, if we go out there and we win that title this year, and Dante wins a Heisman or is second runner up in the Heisman,
yeah,
he's probably gone. You'd almost be a fool at that point to not jump.
Worst case scenario, you'd be at top 10, obviously depending on team needs. But you'd be guaranteed top 10 pick.
That's
so
awesome.
You're gone. You're gone. Yeah.
So let me throw a wrench in there. Now, if you break down the top 10 paychecks, right? Because we've seen what C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and what they're getting their first year. These kids are actually getting more in a year. So there's that situation there. Well, there's NIL. You have a dilemma. You could stay and make more money. I'm not saying that now, granted, they'll get, their 30 million, but remember, you got to break that down, right? You got to break it down in half for taxes. Then you got to break it down again for 4 years. So that's the reason why a yearly check, like a guy like, what's his name, the quarterback from Miami, he's getting more money. He's getting paid this year, $4 million. And it's more than what Bryce Young is making. It's more than CJ Stroud is making. You know what I mean? It's more than a lot of these guys. So that plays in a part, right? Into now these athletes having an opportunity to weigh that option out. Do I want to come back and make more money? And then, there's a risk. There's a risk in everything, So
absolutely.
This is why those kids have agents who do sponsorships too, because that's where a lot of people make their side money, is all their endorsements and stuff. Same as in college now, you can do it. So it's kind of you got to weigh kind of check and balance, like where are you going to fall in the draft and how much are you going to make with NIL potentially endorsements.
Like I'll give you an example. What's his name? The quarterback from Texas who left.
Ewers.
If I was yours, I would have stayed to see what he is at right now, how far he dropped in the draft. I would have stayed. He would have made way more money.
And he'd still be better than Arch Manning.
Exactly. See, that's my point. Like,
yeah, and he'd still be playing.
He'd still be playing and getting more reps to get ready for. If he would have came out this year, he would have been a lot higher on the draft board. You see, so every situation is different, and you just got to know how to play your cards when it's dealt. And the NIL has threw a wrench in a lot of these things, and you definitely have to consider that situation, right? It's a business, and go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, we're in this NFL talk already in the way of that, of going to the NFL or staying. And like you brought up with DJ, with the Beavers, and then obviously the rough last year with Florida State. But that was a rough year for everyone on that team. Everyone. That was just a bad year.
Look, go ahead.
Spaz brought it up. If Mateo leaves, and you guys will have this conversation as a family and with an agent, all that stuff later on in the season, I'm sure that's a very personal decision to make. But Spaz wanted to know too is, what will it be like watching DJ and Mateo both in the NFL? And we haven't even talked about potentially watching Poncho, because Poncho's going to go to the NFL too.
Oh, he's definitely going. He's definitely going. And for Dad, it's just being proud that the boys achieved their goals, right? They just want to be in the NFL. Granted, the situation with DJ coming out of high school, being a high profile player, didn't have the career that he was supposed to have in college. But I'm just grateful and thankful that he actually got on a practice team. But, I know all the insights of it, Harbaugh and the GM, they love my son. And I told my son, I said, a lot of the things that's going to carry over is how you handled all these situations. Never once did you see my son blame anybody. Didn't. Never once you see my son made it about him. At the end of the day, all he did was took it on the chin and tried his best to make it just be the best player, best supporter on his team, right? Quarterback situation, I tell a lot of kids, you want to play quarterback. Are you sure about that? Because you're going to get blamed for everything. When you're winning, you get all the credit. When you're losing, you're going to get all the credit. They're going to blame you for everything. At Florida State, I just didn't, we didn't understand why on paper they look all great, but this year, people are like, why they're good now? Well, they changed the whole coaching staff.
Yeah.
Except the head coach. Those are all brand new 5 linemen playing O-line and receivers, and of course, they changed everything. Of course, you're going to get a different outcome. Especially they low key, they pay for their, they understand how to play that NIL game there, and kudos to that coach Norvell for doing that, and I'm glad for the success they're having now. And there's no hard feelings. In this, I tell a lot of parents in this day and age, when your kids sign up for something, it comes with all of it, right? You got to learn how to. You got to understand that's what you signed up for. Yeah, you signed up for it. Don't make excuses. You never hear at Florida State. My son was receiving death threats at his house and bomb threats. You will never hear about it. Yeah, but you never hear it. The only way I found out about it was because his wife told me. But DJ would never say anything because he didn't want to distract the team, right? He's like, nah, leave it alone. It's okay, man. It is what it is. But see, that's the type of player DJ is, and I truly believe he's in the best situation, where he's at with Harbaugh, and they see his true worth, right? And that's kind of why they still have him there. I was so happy that he made the team. Yeah, granted, it was the practice squad, but they have a plan for him, and that's all I ever asked for. I said, DJ, your job is to get a check. I don't care if you're the fish string. I don't care if you washing towels. Just get a damn check and take care of your family,
Yep.
So that's what he's doing. I don't really. I don't really care what people. You always get these guys on Facebook, and sometimes I fire back, just to have fun and be jokes. I don't. Parents gotta learn that not everybody gonna be happy with your journey, And Mattel could do one wrong thing, and everybody flip on Mattel. And it is what it is, And as long as they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, going out there and trying to be the best teammate they can be. It's something that we've always preached to them, and so proud for what Mateo is doing. It's just funny watching him out there, because he's still like a little kid to me. He's my little baby boy. You know what I mean? And if you look at his face, he has a baby face. You know what I'm saying?
He does.
He still looked like that little baby kid. He had long hair when he was young, so. That baby face, everyone just thought he was a girl. In Little League Baseball, he'll hit a home run, and everybody would say, hey, that girl just hit a home run. And Mattel would come to me, Dad, I'm not a girl. I said, don't worry. And when you get older, that baby face is going to be very helpful with getting girls. Don't worry, you're good.
Hopefully Mateo knows that you're telling these stories online.
Well, look, Mattel knows, and this is what I do. I'm transparent with a lot of these things because at the end of the day, this is what's the use of I think that's a cool story because there's a lot of kids out there with long hair. It's a lot of kids with baby faces, right? And I just want them to feel okay. You got this guy who's potentially first rounder that everybody thought he was a young little girl when he was young because he looked like he was a pretty boy, but he was the first kid at 8 years old who hit a home run out of Little League field, which is 20 feet, right?
Wow.
At 8 years old. And T-ball, they had to back all the kids up. This is now about 5-6 years old. They couldn't have nobody standing infield because Mateo hit the ball so hard. These kids didn't react to. So I wish I could post some of the videos where he's in the baseball stadium, right? Or baseball, and he's hitting the ball over the scoreboard. And the baseball coach is like, oh, well, can we get him here to play? So both my sons, like DJ, who was drafted to the Dodgers, right?
Yep.
when he was at Oregon State. Montel is as well as good as as DJ in baseball. He was also a pitcher, but he was known for his power hitting. So some athletic boys, and if my son probably get mad at me, but at the end, they know I'm always gonna speak the truth about them and share not crazy stuff, but I don't think that's crazy. At the
No,
end of the
no.
day, yeah, I want kids who have long hair that they mistaken for a girl. I want them to understand that, and it's a lot of people out there like Mattel went through that stuff too. But
So I
yeah,
got a question for you.
yep,
And this is uh, you've been involved in football and bringing kids up for years and whatnot
yeah.
through the systems and whatnot. What's the difference that Dan Lanning and this staff have that you've seen over anything else?
Is their approach to being honest to the kids? Not like schools are not honest with them, meaning with their process, right? Their development, right? When Mattel came here, he asked Coach Dan and Coach Tosh Lapoy, I don't really care too much about seeing the fancy stuff, the field and all of that. I did it with DJ. My main goal is what is your plan for me to get me ready for the NFL? School, I understand. I got that. I already know, but I think it was that part, because he was going, it was Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and USC and Oregon, right? And out of all those schools, Tosh and Dan just had some stuff for him to where he just fell in love with it, right? And he came one trip and it just changed every. I mean, when I say one trip, the trip that he came on. Mind you, Oregon was not even on the map for him to come to. He did not want to come here, only because I think it was the experiences of the prior things of his brother, right? With Cristobal and the staff then. So his thoughts, I'm not sure it was from that era, but I talked to him into just coming to see what Dan and Tosh, had for him, and it was kind of a struggle to get him, but he finally came. That one meeting, I think it went for like 3 to 4 hours. They were in a room, and Dan and Tosh broke everything down on what they wanted him, and yeah, we come home and he went from not even thinking of coming to Oregon to Oregon being his top 3, and I was so happy for that because Oregon, I just love what they do with the kids, right? And how just how they're you see Dan Lanning, man. Who the hell doesn't want to run through a wall by watching that man? You know what I mean? And just how he motivates kids. I call Dan Lanning a pastor, like a pastor coach type guy. He always has a message every week as we watch on on the YouTube. And I love his messages. I love what he has for the kids, these athletes, and he does a great job. Does a great job.
I love how as you just pointed out, as we see on the us versus them every week,
Yes.
how he doesn't just, it's not just the star players. He involves everybody. He gets people that you wouldn't even think of up there asking questions or having them do something that he has written down, and he gets them all in the same zone.
Especially the first one,
that makes a big difference.
Especially the first one, he was pointing out like, "Hey, what were you like last spring game to this last spring game? To the next year. Look what they're doing different now, even if they're not a key contributor right at this moment on the team or whatever. But it's like, look at that improvement year 1 to year 2, doing what you're supposed to do and highlighting them working hard as a team together and individually on their specific areas." And I'd play for him. I'm too old though. I'm too old and broken. I would try to play for him, but I can't.
As a parent of a child on a team, I, because I know I can't play, but I do everything in my power to try to share the experiences with Mateo to other parents who are looking for a place to go. It's a fine line there because I represent athletes and, I'm taking them also to other schools. I don't want to show the bias, but sometimes I'm just honest, and I'm like, they just do it right here, guys. They're the best when it comes to the negotiation and the deals and stuff. They're very fair. That's all I ask parents to understand. As long as the school is fair, around the ballpark of what the numbers are and a fair value. That's where you want to go. I can tell you when Mateo first came here, he was offered more money other place. So everybody wants to talk about Oregon, having Phil Knight and all this money, but Mateo. I wish I could say how much, but people wouldn't believe what Mateo left on the table to come to Oregon, because to him it wasn't about the amount; it was about the development. So I share Mateo's story a lot to other parents because sometimes parents are not big on the money. They're just big on where's the best fit for their kids. You know what I'm saying? And then every time I hear this narrative of, yeah, we got Phil Knight's money, and I'm like, I can tell you right now, if I can't wait till Mateo get out of college so I can tell how much he left on the table. Because when Mateo told me that I want to go to Oregon, and I'm like, are you serious? You're not even going to look at that over there? It didn't even bother him. And the coolest part is, Mateo was a fan of Oregon since he was a kid. Every Christmas we got to buy either a blanket or a poster or Oregon shoes and shirts. He's definitely been a hardcore Oregon fan since he was a kid.
Yeah, yeah. I remember. I think it was last year they did that piece.
Yeah.
Opening one of the games where talked about him growing up and always getting duck gear and stuff as a kid because that was the team he followed, and now here he is as a young man playing football for the team he grew up loving.
The cool part is Peyton Woodard and Mateo, both on 10U, they played for the IE Ducks, right? So yeah, Peyton Woodard and Mateo, they played on the same team. And youth ball, they played on the same team in high school ball, and they're still on the same team here in college.
Nice.
That's wild. Yeah.
It's always funny how some of those stories work out where you hear about, all the high school. You always hear like LA, UCLA and USC, these guys played against each other in high school, where then you go like Oregon, you're like, yeah, these guys played together in high school. And you're like, at Oregon now? Like, yeah, okay, sometimes it's wild how that works out.
Yeah. And I love Peyton Woodard right now. His stat speaks for itself. He's out there balling, coming off the bench, and that's the thing. Dan Lanning,
doing what's being asked.
Yeah. So some kids, they're some kids would have an attitude, but he made sure, that every kid is loved, love them up, understand their situation, why they're not starting or whatever it is. But giving every kid an opportunity, if anyone out there thinks that, you got to wait your turn here at Oregon, well, that's not true. As you see, 2 freshmen starts at running back, and 2 freshmen is out there playing DB. So I don't, we play the best here.
As Lanning says, if you're good enough, you're old enough.
Yes.
It don't matter if you're a true freshman or a senior. If you're good enough, you're going to get on the field. I did want to touch Spaz. I'm going to let you take it over here a second, but I think I've heard you talk about this before, Dave, about it. What was it like the one game, and it was a couple years ago, but watching Mateo sack DJ, getting that sack on DJ, because everyone was like, yes, there it is. That's what we were all waiting to see during that game.
I was mad at Mateo because I was like, you never ever like celebrate. You should see in high school was bad. He just make a play and everybody cheer, and he's standing there like, all right, let's go. He never celebrates. So on this play, he sacks his brother, right? He gets up and jumps up, and I've never seen my son cheer so hard. Throws his hand in the air and runs off the field. And Tosh Laporte is like, what are you doing? He goes, why? What's going on? He said, there's another play. You got to get on the field. You know what I mean? And he totally forgot what was going on. So, so the thing I'm mad about is you're his brother. You're supposed to pick him up and give him a hug, and ESPN will film that and put it on. But no, you your butt went and cheered like, this was a dream to sack your brother. I'm like, boy, I, I was laughing my butt off. I'm like, tell, come on, man. So yeah, it was funny.
I'm
And
gonna.
it was great to see the game though, just to be there to witness it.
It was a fun game. Of course, it's the rivalry game, and then it was the end, almost the end of the tradition. In a way, it was like,
Yeah.
it hurts. I'm just starting a couple questions in the background there.
Got it.
On pass.
Yeah. So we do have a couple questions from the audience. So
You want Frankenese?
Yeah, I'll do Frankenese.
There you go. Cool.
What do you see the biggest difference between playing in the Big Ten versus playing in the Pac-12?
Man, okay, look, you asking a Pac-12 fan, right? I only can. It's a resume, right? Last year, that's how I always truly believe they always downplayed the Pac-12, but what Pac-12 did last year. I got a question for you: who won the Big Ten and the Big 12? Right? 2 Pac-12 teams, Arizona State and Oregon. So for me, I love the Big Ten. All the Big Ten was an opportunity and a platform to showcase what Pac-12 really was about. Right? That's why I love Big Ten. Granted, they have their ways of being a tough. They're known to be tough and a powerhouse with Big Ten. But last year you finally got to see why Pac-12 was really the top, one of the top conferences. And I'm grateful that we're in the Big Ten because now we get to play these teams and prove why Pac-12. I think Pac-12 was a lot better, or not to knock the Big Ten, but yeah, Pac-12 is not just any old, what they all talk about us to be, right? So,
and you have this one Pac-12 team that, gee, here we are a year and a half in, and they still haven't lost a Big Ten game yet.
Yep.
Who could that? Yep. Who could that be?
I don't know what team that could be.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I trust me. I don't even own any Oregon stuff that has a Big Ten logo on it. Still,
I don't need all my stuff.
All my stuff still says Pac-12 on it.
I mean, this is like an '85 sweatshirt.
Wow, and that's why we got to win a natty for people like y'all. You guys deserve it. Being loyal fans and across Oregon or across the country, all the loyal fans that's been here. That's my hope and prayers.
Troy, for that comment, you don't get your question asked now.
What comment was it?
Troy, in context, Troy is our resident Ohio State fan, and he was basically saying, "Shh, don't talk about the Rose Bowl, though."
Look, at the end of the day, you don't want to talk about the game here in Eugene, just like how we don't want to talk about the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
All I know about last year is 1-1. Y'all beat us, we beat y'all. Granted, kind of when y'all beat us there, but it's okay. I'll give you guys all the credit, man. But y'all came here and you got served here too, so.
Hey, that was one of the things I was going to ask you too, was about the experience, because you were down there. I saw some of your videos from tailgating and whatnot. What was that experience, just playing in the Rose Bowl in a totally different atmosphere of a Rose Bowl? This was kind of for a little bit more. There was more juice at stake. What was that whole experience like with, ESPN and everybody being there? And
It was a great experience, right? I'm from LA. My son Mateo won his high school state championship and national championship right there at Rose Bowl. So I know the place, but that being at the Rose Bowl for that game, it was so amazing. I think we had the biggest tailgate, right? It was so fun. I mean, hundreds and hundreds
You
of
had
people
a
came.
lot of people at that
Yes, yeah,
tailgate. I
yeah,
was like,
yeah. Well,
wow.
it was put together by some of the alum players, right? And I don't even know their names, but I know they put it together. And I just jumped in because we had some other tailgates with them, and they asked Dave, "You guys tend to cook my cousins who do they cater, so we bring a lot of great food there." So he asked us to cater so we did, and it was great until we lost, right?
Right, right.
Well,
Exactly.
it was great until
We won't talk
about
about the
midway to
ending.
about the
Yes.
second quarter. It was great until about the second quarter.
Look, I was frustrated because I hardly saw Mattel out there, right? It was I didn't know what was going on, but I know he was sick a little bit, so I know he was under but I just, I'm not going to make it that's an excuse, but I would have loved if Mattel was 100% in that game. I don't know if it would have made any difference. I don't think so, because kudos to the Ohio State, man. That team wasn't going. They were playing like lights out, and there's nothing that we were trying to do to. We
Yeah,
couldn't stop.
and I heard afterwards that there was quite a few guys that were
Yeah,
not 100% that game.
nah,
There was a bug or
yeah.
something that they all caught.
The main thing is we have to blame Michigan. Thanks, Michigan, for waking up Ohio State.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
That's what it was. I'm not making no excuses for Ohio State came out and did their thing. I give them all the credit, man. Shoot, I'm not gonna talk smack on them. You know. But remember, you guys lost that year to us, so that's all that matters to me. I remember that game. what a game it was, too.
We got
Boy.
a salty Beaver fan in our chat.
Oh shit! Clint's here.
We got a salty Beaver fan over here.
Oh, what are you mad about? I love Beavers.
Clint asked, "Was the FSU money worth it?"
Honestly, here I'm gonna break it down for you. My son didn't want to go anywhere. But unfortunately, my son did so well at Oregon State and led them to the highest ranking of their college playoff, number 10. They made him to the top 10. That finally Smith got a new job. So I told DJ, pat yourself on the back, DJ, because you got not just Smith, but you got that whole offensive coordinator, all offensive coaching staff, a raise. And we weren't mad.
Raises.
Yeah, so we wanted to stay, but unfortunately, Smith left and took the backup quarterback instead of taking a guy who really was credited to making you look the way you look. Because the year before, to the Oregon State fan, the year before, you guys won more games. If you go look at it, you won more games, but nobody still didn't want to offer Smith a job. But it was only the year that he finally had a quarterback who could deliver the ball the way DJ did. And finally, they saw how that offense worked. And I'm going to tell you this. I asked DJ what helped him to get, to be able to perform at the NFL level and be able to, I said, did Clemson, anything you learned at Clemson or Florida State or Oregon State? And this is what my son said. Dad, Oregon State is the team that really got me prepared. There was a reason why we were the number one team in the red zone in our year. We scored 100% in the red zone because the way we went about, learn, just the preparation of the plays, just how Smith worked with him. He said the things that he learned at Clemson and Florida State, that's play, it was the read option they don't really do all of that in the NFL, especially on the Rams. They do play action. They run pro set. So what he learned at Oregon State is what really helped him to learn that they run the same offense at Chargers. So, kudos to Oregon State. And DJ, he loves Oregon State. He loves Corvallis. He wish he would have known what he knew now, that he would have went straight to Corvallis right out of high school, and would have been with Coach Smith.
Would he have gone to Michigan State with Smith if he would have taken him?
Man,
versus going to Florida State? I mean,
without a doubt. That's what he was assumed. The thing is this, he didn't even get a phone call.
He just
He
got
he
dumped.
didn't.
Wow.
Yes, but you see, my son, he will never say anything, right?
Right.
He was
Right.
just grateful and thankful. So to the Beaver fan, understand this: the reason why he had to leave. Would you stay back and be a part of another build-up? Because not only did the coaches leave, also the players. They all left as well. The ones that
Yeah.
one went to Miami, one went to Texas. They all left. So
Yeah.
you're asking my son to stay, but yet Florida State is offering him, that money. Understand that once they started paying kids in college, this is a business, and
Yep.
you don't operate off of loyalty, because this is what happens when you be loyal. If DJ was loyal to the coach and he was ready to stay there, what did the coach do? As soon as he got a better job,
He
not even
bounced.
not even call my son and say he's leaving. Just bounce on my board. So your loyalty to your family. So it's not to a fan base. Sorry, Oregon fan guy. My son, his loyalty was to the people in his home, and he needed to take care of his family. So I ask you, Oregon fan, would you just stay because of a morally reason why you think he's, let me stay, or really go take care of your family and make the kind of money that you would never make, you could even think of, right? So
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
that's why he left. He left because he had to take care of his family.
Yeah.
You know what I
Sit,
mean?
sit down,
And
Clint. Sit down, Clint.
Go back to the Beaver.
yeah,
Or,
I'm just being honest.
we love
Oh
it.
yeah.
We love our Beaver. We love our
Yeah,
Beaver guys too.
I'm just being honest. My son didn't, he didn't leave Beavers, man. He was forced out. You have to make a decision, and this is a
Yeah.
business,
I'm
and
trying to get to the next level. Am I going to stay here and
yeah,
rebuild with a whole new line, receivers,
yeah,
coaches, or am I going to go somewhere where I'm getting offered probably 3 or 4 times the amount of money I'm going to get here, for one, and for two, a better system and with top-notch athletes? I'm
yeah,
probably going to
and
go there.
every decision comes with a risk. Did we know Florida State was going to be like that? No,
Yeah.
we didn't. If you look at it on paper, it was like Florida State was supposed to repeat it again, do it again, or just do something well. Never did we think that it was
They were
going
going to
to
go 2-10. Yeah.
what. See, and the thing is, DJ was only there half a year.
Yeah.
What happened to the rest of the year? Like, you guys blaming that on him? So you guys wanted the second string guy in there. He goes in. Then they put the third string. They all went down to the fourth string. It didn't work. And then now,
And then you tried to go, but then you wanted to go back to DJ after all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And you expected him to go out and
And I'm
perform.
not,
It's like,
look,
yeah.
I'm not trying to make excuses for DJ, but what I want people to understand is this is a team sport. It takes more than DJ, just like at Clemson. You know what I mean? It takes more than DJ. You got to have all the pieces. You know what I mean? Like a prime example, our quarterback, Dante Moore. Did you see him at UCLA?
Yeah.
DJ killed him at UCLA when UCLA played Oregon State, and that's why Dante Moore said what he said. I really was real serious about this game because the last time we played Oregon State, boy, we put it on him. Put it on. He threw 3 picks in that game.
Yep.
And DJ balled out in that game. So you got to have pieces, man. And look at Dante Moore now, man. I knew he was this quarterback. I saw Dante Moore in his sophomore year in high school. Him and Nico Yamaleava, we were all in the same. We went to we visited Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama, and what's another school? Georgia, right? We all went the same time, the same camps. And I kept saying, man, geez, that kid Dante was right there with Nico, just beautiful balls, And those both guys will get offers every time we're done with Clemson, get an offer. Done with this, get an offer. Done with Georgia, get an offer. So I got to see that their sophomore year, and to see him now, and we always talk about that time doing when they were young, going through the process. I had no doubt, I'm a quarterback dad, so I was like, Dante is special, special, special.
Yeah. He's been high. He was highly recruited. I think he was the number 3 QB in
Yeah.
his class coming out of high school
Yep.
by Nico and Arch.
And Arch Manning.
Yeah. And so you knew it was there.
Yeah.
And I knew when he decided that he was going to come back and sit a year and learn the system, I was like, that's dangerous. And
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh, well, we don't know what he's going to do. We don't know what he's going to be like. Look at what he was at UCLA. I said, yeah, look at the difference in one, the coaching staffs, and two, the way they develop their players
Oh my gosh. It is.
and their quarterbacks.
Exactly. Just to see the last two quarterbacks, Nix and Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan, yeah.
My goodness. And
Both of
honestly,
them starting as rookies.
Yeah, Dylan
yes.
Gabriel is now the starter.
Yes.
Of the
And
way going.
and here and what's his name? Dante Moore. People don't. This is second year. So remember that he sat a whole year last year. So, but he knew he knew all. He's learning the plays last year. Dylan didn't get a second year, right? He had to learn everything that year, right? So that I truly that's why Dante Moore is a little bit more advanced. A little just because he had it 1 year. Now this is his second year in the same offense, and just being able to have that opportunity to showcase it now with the athletes that he has. Oh my gosh.
I also have to squash Michigan fans who claim, oh, he's a product of Michigan, so that's good coaching in the state of Michigan. And then UCLA fans saying that was development from UCLA. Sit down. Just sit down. Sit down. This was development by Will Stein and Dan Lanning and that whole coaching staff. That's and the maturity growth to sit, because not many quarterbacks will say, yeah, I'll sit behind another guy for a year.
Go ahead.
He's taken on that after that Penn State game. I told Spaz on our post game, I said, he has turned into Dan Lanning. He's a psychopath. He literally doesn't show any emotion on the field at all. He is not phased. He doesn't celebrate. He's just like, next play. Like,
next play.
Just tuned in fully. I'm like, okay, we can win with this guy. Like, okay.
So the one part I love is when, remember that it was an episode where they asked him to do the post, the Heisman post, and then you see him shut it down real quick, like, no, I can't. I'm a humble guy. I don't. I love that about him. Just understanding that this is a team sport. He couldn't do any of this without the guys that's on the team. So he just shows that, and in his the way he plays, the way he handles himself. And I think he's going to find a whole lot of success because of his approach and the way he handles himself.
And we saw today, for the first time in the Dan Lanning era, we saw freshmen doing press conferences.
Oh, I saw that.
I was like, wow.
You had to do it, right? That kid is. What's the name of the kid at number 4 at Ohio State?
Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
That's our Jeremiah Smith right there, buddy.
Yeah.
That is our Jeremiah Smith, DeCarn Moore. He's such an amazing athlete. I watch him in Hawaii. I was right there in that end zone when he made that catch, that amazing catch in the Polynesian Bowl game, and I was like, who is this kid? And I'm just so grateful and thankful that he came and chose to come here, because he was offered a lot of things, and he still stuck by his decision and stayed with us, and I'm glad he did.
Yeah, and that's shout out to Ross Douglas too, the wide receiver coach, for coming in and still maintaining that commitment to go ahead.
Yes,
and this is a shout out to the staff too, because as a true freshman, he's being productive. Obviously, he's the leading wide receiver. But then they filled the receiving core, especially with the loss of Evan Stewart, with other guys such as an FSU transfer, which we were very low on after the spring game, Malik Benson. Well, he's just proven us wrong so far this season completely. Like, I'm like, okay, Malik Benson, look at you.
That's not my son. I talked to him. I just went out to see a Chargers game this past weekend, and we talked about it. And he constantly talked with what's his name, Benson, and he's just so happy for him. I'm happy for him, I'm happy for him, and just I'm glad that he's out there doing his thing. What's his name? Number two. Um,
Oh,
Gary Bryant, right?
Gary Bryant.
Yeah.
Let me tell you who Gary Bryant is to DJ. That was his receiver in 7-on-7 in high school. So I'm really close to Gary Bryant and the family. And to see him go through what he had to go through while he was here and to explode in that game. That Penn State game, Gary Bryant was everywhere, making catches, getting first downs and touchdowns. I was so proud of Gary Bryant, just all that he's been through. And that's just a testimony of what they do here in Oregon. They stick by guys' size, guys that are good, right? That are not complaining, that are when they're on the sideline, they're cheering for their team. They're still rooting for them. They're still helping to develop them to where now, Gary have the opportunity to get up there and really showcase his ability. And man, it couldn't happen to such a great guy and a great team, man. Thankful for coach, the whole coaching staff on that part.
Now, I know you probably can't get too far in depth or anything, but if you can talk about it, what is your understanding of what's happened with like Mekhi Hughes? He was brought in. They thought he was going to be this big bruising back, and he just hasn't made the field much.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. I'm. All I know is that whatever process they were, I don't know anything about it. Right. At the end of the day, it comes down to performance, and Dan will put the guys out there that are performing. I'm just giving an educated guess because I'm not really in there like
Right.
on the running backs, right? And for him to what did he say? He's gonna red shirt, right?
Red shirt, yeah.
Yeah. And look, he has to do what's best for him and his family. I won't judge him on that and say like, oh, you're not for the team. Because in this business, it's a business. And he has to make sure he has to do what's best for him and his family, right? And he's not being disrespectful. He's not being, it's all about me. No. This is the business that we're in. He definitely loves the team. I'm pretty sure he wish he could play, but I wouldn't want to waste a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would think
exactly.
I would, I wouldn't want to waste a year if it was me.
He's like he's like number 6 on the depth chart too, or something.
Yeah. So
take the red shirt if you can.
Take the red shirt if you can. I don't see anything bad about that. A lot of times colleges, like what happened with Dante Moore last year, they didn't want Dante to redshirt, but what they did was they understood that Dante could play in 4 games. Mm-hmm. So they played him, and they didn't play him to where he played over that 4th game. They wanted to save that, but at the same time, just in case that our starting quarterback goes down, then we can put in Dante Moore, right? I think that's for me, I believe Oregon probably wanted him not to jump in the portal, but Oregon was going to do what they're supposed to do, not let him play over 4 games, and at the end of the day, just be there, and just in case if our starters get hurt, and then we have to thrust you in there, right? But I think this is just my educated guess right now. I think he said, no, you know what? I'm just gonna jump in get the red shirt now.
Yeah, and again, in all fairness to Mekhi Hughes, whether it's the not understanding the blocking schemes, the playbook, the necessities, whatever it is, like you say, no one expected Dierre Hill or Davison to come on exactly the way they have. So that pretty much kind of like pushed him down in the depth chart pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. We were just like, where is Hughes? We were like, we expected him to be like 1A, 1B with Whittington, and we're like, this is weird.
Well, they do a great job here at evaluating athletes, right? As you can see, and why we're so successful. So, they're our coaches are doing the right thing.
Sorry, that was a comment on the screen.
What is it? I can't. What's
I know
happening?
on the phone it's hard. It's a Duck fan, Glenn Hanna. They said they're sorry they're late. They were watching Kershaw blow another playoff game.
My God.
Yeah, I have it on next to me. So yeah, I'm well aware. Thanks, Glenn, for rubbing it in just a little bit more.
It's a playoff right now?
Yeah. Yeah, Dodgers and Phillies are playing game 3 right now.
Dang.
And they brought Kershaw in off the pen and he blew it.
Oh my gosh.
This is why I can't watch sports with you, Spaz. Or have you doing live streams while you're watching sports.
Hey, I'm doing a good job of paying attention to this tonight.
You are doing a fantastic job tonight. You are not zoned out at all. I'm very happy. So I guess that I had one question just because we got sidetracked there, but I wanted to ask specifically like with Oregon and stuff, especially from from high school into college. We talked about him deciding to go to Oregon.
Yeah.
In the last couple of years, what have you noticed? A specific area that doesn't have to be athletic or athletics or anything like that. It could be personal growth. What have the one thing you've noticed from Mateo specifically that he's done that's made him like he's grown in the most, where you can go, that's what's made him be who he is today, whether it's an athlete, a person, stuff like that. I mean, like, is it,
First, I just want to give a lot of credit to my brother. My brother is a D-line. He trains a lot of D linemen from high school, college, and pros. All the moves that you see him do is what he learned from my brother since he was 5th grade, right? All the technique. But the one thing my brother always used to say about Mateo, because he played offense, right? He has a offense mentality. Like in football and defense, you got to be a dog, right? And Mateo always have that laid back, kind of, if you get to know him, he's laid back, nothing bothers him. He's just that kind of guy. And my brother always used to say, it's really hard. I feel like that's the only thing that Mateo doesn't have is that dog in him, to that defense side, right? So the development and the talent, that stuff, the skills, I thank my brother for. But to me, what Oregon did, Dan Lanning got my son to turn that switch on. That's what Dan and Tosh did. They got him to turn that switch on to where, that's what I saw, the difference from his freshman year to his sophomore year. And I'm just so grateful. Dan talked to me about it. And I'll give you an example, right? Do you remember number 99 that played for the Rams? The D tackle.
Back in the day,
no. Aaron Donald, right?
Oh, yeah.
You ever see that video of Aaron Donald before a game where he's talking to himself and just getting so hyped? No one can stop me. Just tell. Have you seen that video?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's saying, "I'm the best." No one I got. And he's talking, right? So as Mateo's dad, I'm telling you, I could picture Mateo and what he would say when before a game, and this would be my interpretation of that, right? It would be Mateo going, "Oh wow, this is a nice field. Oh, I get to play in this game." That's what I would feel like what Mateo say, because I'm his dad, and I know him. I don't ever see my son ever get bothered by anybody. I never see him get mad. I never seen him want to kill somebody. You know what I mean? Never. And I said, man, that's the thing I think he needs to. But that's what Dan Lanning did. He got Mateo to understand that the guy in front of you, you have to. This is your opportunity to hit this guy with bad intentions, basically, right? And Mateo understood now the opportunity when he gets the call to rush the quarterback. He doesn't get that call a lot. So when you do get that call, you have to your whole energy and your body got to be, I got to kill this guy to get to the quarterback.
You
So
now have legal authority to commit battery.
yes, that's what he learned here. That's what they did for him. They changed. I'm telling you, Mattel would have. I wish you could have seen him play tight end. He was amazing.
I was going to ask you that because I just saw a couple of clips the last couple of days
Yeah.
about people talking about on your page about Mateo playing tight end, and I'm like,
so
could he
just so
play
you
tight
know,
end?
in high school he played more tight end than D end.
Oh,
The funny part is the highlights you see of Mateo in high school is all tight end, catching touchdowns, bossing everybody. No one could stick. You put Mateo on one side of the field, they could put 3-4 people over there. Just throw the ball up. Mateo at his size, 6'5", 6'6", 200. They always say 272. Mateo's about 280. But at the time he was 275, and he could do windmill dunk. So I give you
wow.
When Mateo got here his first spring in January, his freshman year, all the tight ends got hurt. It's a funny story. All the tight ends got hurt. So the tight end coach, Mateo played tight end. So this one day had a lot of recruits there, lot of recruits and their fathers there, and I guess they put Mateo, out there at tight end, and my phone started blowing up, and it's some of the recruits' dads, and they're calling me and they said, Dave, your son out here killing that tight end. He made an amazing catch, right? So I'm waiting for him to call me later on in that day. So he calls me that day, and I'm waiting for him to tell me what happened with the tight end. And he goes, Dad, I messed up today. I go, what do you mean you messed up? He goes, they put me at tight end. I said, so what happened? You sucked at tight end? He goes, no, I should have never caught all the balls. Now they want me to play tight end. He goes, please, Dad. Because in high school, he played more tight end than D end. And because he played tight end, every time he went into D end, he was tired. He was gassed already. So he said, Dad, this is the only time I want to put my whole energy into defensive end, So I had a talk with Dan, and Dan basically said, Dave, what kind of athlete do you have? He's such a great, they said they put him at tight end, and the first pass they threw him, he took the free safety to the end zone. He said he blocked the free safety with his left hand and caught the ball with his right hand, and
wow.
just blew everybody away. And then throughout the day, he was catching, different routes. Just and I kind of had to tell Dan, please, the kid wants to just play DN, but I'm not telling you what to do, Coach. I'm just letting you know in his heart. He just Mattel understands playing two ways. It sucked for him in high school because he couldn't be the best DN he could be. So that's a funny story,
There's a trick play. There's a trick play with Mateo's name on it, I'm sure. There's got to be.
They all know. Dan Lanny knows. Mattel have hands, just so you know. He didn't drop anything. He caught everything. He helped us in that Rose Bowl. A touchdown that caused us to win, not just a touchdown, but a first down to get us to run the clock out. They rolled out right, and they threw the ball back to Mattel to the left, and Mattel ran, I think, 16, 17 yards to get the first down so that we could run out the game. So, I miss my son playing tight end. He played 7-on-7 receiver too as well, but I'm glad he's a DN. He really wanted to be. He really wanted to concentrate on DN, and that's the reason why he really wasn't. When his freshman year, that was the first time he just played DN all the way through. He's never done that all his years. He's been tight end and DN, mostly tight end since his freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year at St. John Bosco. He played tight end. So this is the first time he got to just stay with DN and really got to hone his skills on that side of the ball. And I thank Coach Lanning, even though he was like, Dave, this amazing how he plays. He's really good at tight end and running routes. Let me tell you why. He was a guy that DJ threw the ball to all the time.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows DJ, he throws the ball hard. That's the reason why Mattel can catch all the balls. His brother throws beans him with the ball.
DJ he has a big arm. He's always had a
Yeah,
big arm. That's one thing
yeah,
I've always been like, yeah,
yeah.
he's got the arm. I will say, at least for Mateo, going to any up at Oregon just to be D end, yeah, don't worry. There's been other great tight ends to fill in the
Oh
spot
yes.
there for
Oh,
him, you know.
look at the guy now.
Oh yeah.
Jeez,
I mean
he's the number one,
even then you had
rated number
Ferguson,
one.
you had Herbert, now you got
Yeah,
Sadiq,
Sadiq, man.
and you got Jamari.
They can't
So
turn on
Yo,
people
they're
like on a
good.
daily basis.
yeah. Oh, number 9 is really good. Is that
Yeah.
him? Number 9? Oh gosh, that tight end boy, athletic. He got that touchdown for us, boy. That was that could have been.
That little shovel pass
Oh my
looked
gosh,
that
that
looked
was scary.
scary coming out.
Don't ever, yeah, stop. All OC's got to stop doing those. I've seen a couple of picks off of those shuttle passes. Stop doing those play
My,
calls.
my son DJ threw a pick in one of the games. He was a shovel pass. He threw it right to the D lineman. I'm like, oh my god.
They always
Oh
get
my
tipped. They always
god.
get tipped up in the air. Usually, it's like
Yeah,
stop. Just stop doing that. It's too
man.
cluttered in there.
Yeah, but
I watching the play on TV, you couldn't even see it. All you saw
I
was
know.
the ball snapped, and it was like a scrum of people in there, like shovel passing. I'm like, where?
Were
And
you
then
guys
all of
at
a
the
sudden you
game?
see him. No, I was watching on TV.
Oh man, that was something. I'm Mateo encouraged me to go. I almost didn't go because
I
it was
yeah, I,
it was so hard to get in there. Like I'm like, my goodness.
it
I'm
was
in.
like
Hu-
40 miles out of nowhere from what I heard.
I'm in Houston too, so I definitely wasn't going all the way to Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Oh, you're in Houston. Oh, a Duck fan. That's awesome, brother.
I'm from Gresham, outside Portland.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I'm about to say that's awesome, bro.
Oh, there are Duck fans everywhere. As we all
Oh
know, you can go anywhere in the country, wear a Duck jersey, and you're going to get a Go Ducks randomly,
man,
or see another Duck fan. You'll see
at
it.
Penn State, you had Duck fans everywhere coming in and to watch that game. That was a experience of a lifetime. My son Mateo said, "Dad, you got to be there. It's a one time in a lifetime experience," and he was right. I will never forget that game. It was such a electrifying game. It was something like Austin Stadium, but I just want to say, in Austin Stadium, when we're loud, I can't talk to the person next to me.
No,
Over there, they're at their loudest. I'm talking to the guy next to me, and I'm saying to them like, "Wow, normally I can't do this." Like, so to me, I don't think it was that loud, but maybe it was loud on the field. I'm not sure because we were in the nosebleed, right? We were up there.
yeah. I saw you guys all up there on every now and then they'd put a panoramic of all you guys way up in the far right corner. I'm like,
Oh,
There was a
yeah,
lot
that's
of
where I want to sit.
there were a lot. Yeah, no, there were a lot of Duck fans scattered throughout. But when they did the wide zoom, you couldn't really
yeah,
see
you
it. But
couldn't
when they
see
did
it.
the close up, there was
Yeah,
quite a few
quite
Duck
a
fans.
few. There was
Yeah.
yes, they're all
Yeah,
over.
they were all in the nosebleeds, way up.
Oh god, that
was
was the
one-
parents.
There was
That all
one
the
guy who was
parents.
doing a Penn State reaction video, and every time the Ducks did something good, he zoomed up and into that area, zoomed up, and all the Ducks fans, yes, in the nosebleed. I'm like, yeah. See, I wouldn't pay $500 to like sit up there and travel all the way up there. And
Yeah.
like, no, I wouldn't. No.
It-
I'd rather sit at home.
Most of them were families and friends who got the tickets from their kids. You know what I mean? Like that's where they stuck us way up there.
Let me see. There was something I was going to do here, and now I can't remember. Let's touch a couple of quick questions here because
Yeah.
actually there's a couple interesting ones. Frankany asked here, did you play football in your younger years? Because wondering where the love of football came for both your boys.
Yeah, well, you know what I did, but I was a knucklehead. Okay, I've always got in trouble. Just didn't make the good decisions. Right. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't graduate. I got kicked out of high school, and I'm not ashamed of these things because this is why when I got to when my kids were born, I made sure that they would never ever experience any of those things. So I would never change. I was on house arrest playing at a college at Mount Sac Junior College. Have the house arrest thing on my ankle. right? That's
Cool.
kind of explains what kind of life I was. Just being a knucklehead. I wasn't a gangster or anything. I just was a knucklehead, man, and got a lot of tickets in driving and just turned into warrants and you know things happen. But I made sure that
I know
when I
that.
had when I had both my sons, I made sure that they took advantage of all their opportunities, understood that they appreciated all the opportunities that they had, and that's how it was. You know, I'm grateful for the things I went through, so that I learned that my kids will never go through any of those things, and I'm just proud of myself and their mom. You know, we're divorced now, but I give her a lot of credit. You know, we did a great job in raising our boys, and because of what we've done and the things that we sacrificed, you know, to see both our sons, especially DJ, coming out of college and having a NIL money that he made, and you know, taking it over to the NFL level, and then seeing Mateo doing the same. You know, about to I'm just totally grateful. You know, all the things that we decided to do with him, even though me having such a knucklehead, you know, growing up as a making bad decisions, but God is good. You know.
Yeah. What uh what what gives you the biggest satisfaction, and what made you decide to do the work that you do now with the kids, as far as like the NIL and all that? How did you what got you into that?
It was more of the experiences that I went through. Right, I had a lot of bad experience of trusting people that I thought that were there for me, but you know, some people, they'll drop the biggest names and think they have the best interest for you, and you trust them, but yet they're just there to build off everything you did with your kids, right? They at the time, DJ was the number one quarterback in the country, and these guys are just there to try to make an extra buck and use my kid to build their brand. And I didn't know any of this, so when it came time to be able to give this back to people. So the reason why I do what I do, my main goal is to empower parents. That's my main goal. My goal is to give all the answers to the tests. A lot of parents don't understand NIL. A lot of parents don't understand recruiting. My job is to give them all the answers to the test to the best of my ability, to help them through that process so that they don't have to, you know, go through what I had to go through with my kids, you know, and my the bad part of my experiences. It wasn't all bad, but you know, it was tough. It was tough, man. There's a lot of things, personal things, that happened to me and my family, and that's why I do what I do. I always explain to my kids, the blessing works both ways. It doesn't just, you don't just receive blessings, you also have to give it back, right? So this is my give back, to represent and to help these families through this process. Now, to make it a business, you know, the way we get taken care of, let's say I negotiate a deal for an athlete in high school, an NIL deal, for an athlete. I charge 10%. Now, the 10% doesn't come out of the kid purse. The 10% will come out of the school. You know what I mean? I'll make the school pay our fee. Now, if the school decides not to, then that's it. I, don't- it's an investment for me and our team.
Yeah,
I
there's a big deal on the Oregon State this last week or whatnot where that's concerned. Where they were talking about percentages or whatever. I guess I don't know if you saw that, where a couple of them were been talking about how they feel like they're getting screwed by the school,
yeah.
or something. They're getting like 40 or 50%, and they're like, this is a ridiculous. This should never happen.
Well, I'm not sure about, you know, the school. The school is going to do their best, and that's their. So my thing is, I tell a lot of parents, you only get one chance to do this right. Understand that the school does this, you know, how many deals and every year. So they're going to have their very established lawyers to handle the contracts. You got to come as a parent and have your lawyers. You don't just come to a school and trust what they have for you. You just got to have a representation to read over the contracts. That's all. That's all I'm saying, right? You're not going to do business with someone in any business and go into it and they have a contract for you to sign and you just assume they're going to have the best interest for you. This is business and you can't get offended. Don't get mad because at the end of the day, if you signed the contract, you signed it. It's not their fault that you did not read it or you didn't get a lawyer to be able to read your contract, So
You
it's
didn't. They didn't just be. They didn't see the fine print or
yes,
all the asterisk mark with the
yes.
footnotes.
Well, no. What happened is they saw it. They just don't understand it.
Well,
That's
that
it.
too. Yeah.
And that's
Part
the
of it.
reason why you have a lawyer to come in to read all the terms so that at least you know what you're signing. So when you do sign it, don't get mad. You signed the thing, you know what I mean? So that's a
Right.
lot of times my message to the parents. It's very important that you have representation. You do when you're going into a business deal. This is business. They're talking about paying your child. And you want to make sure you hold the school accountable and the fair value that he is. But that's your job as a parent to go find someone who knows this space. No one been in this space longer than me. DJ was the first kid to sign a NIL, contract. Remember that at Clemson, he was the hottest kid after his first year. He was the one that was touted to be the Heisman, all of that after his first year. He came in 2 games, balled out at Clemson in 2020, and then they passed the NIL. Then the first year of it was 2021. DJ signed with Dr. Pepper, Beats by Dre, did a commercial, United Airlines, Bojangles, and on and on. Right? So, like I said, I've been in this space since day one. Had a child who signed the first deal, right? So I know this space better than a lot of people. And I'm
Yeah.
going to say this, Oregon does a great job at making sure it's fair. Oregon doesn't do any. I'm not saying this because I'm an Oregon guy or my kids play there. I'm just being honest. That's the problem with me sometimes. I'm just too honest. I'm brutally honest, right? I just know how to be honest. I don't.
It's the only way to be.
That's I only deal straight line. I tell parents when I talk to parents, I need someone who's going to tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't want you to tell me all the good, just so you can sign with me. I need the parents to make a sound decision by understanding all the terms, all the situations that we're going to get into. You need to know everything, and that's kind of why I'm still dealing with athletes. I've done over 100 kids, deals, and you wouldn't believe some of these high school kids that the deals that they're offering them. It is out of it's not out of
It's
control, but it's what is coming to. You know what I mean? This
yeah.
is a big.
You can name schools, by the way. We won't talk crap about them or anything.
Look, at the end of the day, I just speak of Oregon because they do it the right way, and that's why they're winning. They know how to do this. They're really good at taking care of people. You know, they do everything possible to cross the T's and dot their I's and just do it the right way. And I'm not here to
So
try to.
there's another question. Sorry, Dave. There's another quick question. I don't know about this, so
Is this
this may
Frankie
be
again or is this Troy?
Frankenese.
Okay, there's Troy. Troy had a question too, but I just started this one.
Are you are you still bodyguarding? Do you have a good story for us?
Oh, I don't bodyguard no more. I stopped bodyguarding about 6, 7 years ago. I did it for 25 years. Yeah, I got a lot of stories, but it I bodyguard Chris Brown, Rihanna, DJ Khaled, Meek Mill, a lot of celebrities. Um, and it's I mean there's a lot of stories, right? But at the end of the day, these celebrities, man, they're just like everyone else. And the things that you don't believe, the stuff that you see on the news about them and stuff like that is totally far from the truth, and And it's always a narrative that they're putting out there, which is not true about these artists that I've worked for, you know. And I mean, there's it, it's a in 25 years, it's been in a lot of situations, right? Not so. I did a great job in preparation, making sure everywhere we went, we had a cop, or any shows, we had the proper security to the police department, all of that stuff. We take care of that. But there's sometimes when a client, we're in a bus and we want to pull over and go to McDonald's or something, or Walmart. You can't really prepare for that,
No.
So it's funny to see them go shopping and try to shop like normal people, but then in 20, 30 minutes, the whole store is filled with people, and now we got to go out the back door. Right?
Right?
Yeah, stuff like that. It happens a lot. And there were one time when you think you're working with little young kids at a skating ring, right? And you don't think nothing of it. Like, oh, these are kids. But then it ended up being about 1,000 kids. And the stage normally has a barrier, but it didn't. This time they had ropes. And I totally misjudged it, because ropes not going to stop rolling kids on roller skates. So I literally, these kids started pushing forward. It's 1,000 kids in the skating ring. Start pushing forward. And the only thing I could do was pick up the client like a football and run over these kids. I'm sorry. I felt so bad. And we had scratches all over us. And these are kids. You would expect something like this with some fans, grown-ups and crazy fans. No, these were kids. And I had no choice but to pick up my client in my arms like a football and literally plow my way through the kids.
Run through the crowd, yep.
Through the crowd. And
Time to get out.
The question is when do all the NDAs expire so you can actually name names and specific story details?
I tend not to really say names. I can say the name if I wanted to. I don't. I know these clients. They know who I am. And they But these are guys that I love, and I'm still friends to now, and they know who DJ and Mateo are. I've talked about my kids to them when they were young, and I really wish I could have I wish I was in my heyday when my kids were like in high school, right? Like when they were, so that I could have took them on the road. They were really young back then, and they didn't know, they can't believe I work for Chris Brown. They can't believe I work for a lot of these rappers and stuff, Now they think about it like, damn, Dad, you should have took us. I'm like, the funny part is they know who you are, though, because I wouldn't stop talking. I'm the guy who talks about my kids to everybody. I was the happiest dad, just loving on my kids, and hey, you better look out for my son DJ and Mateo and all of this,
Well, and they're on some of the biggest stages, and I mean, a lot of these guys are these people are sports watchers still, no matter what. So they were gonna know their names in time, whether from even replays on like Sports Center or something like that, over time. I mean, you were gonna hear these names.
They call me Little Wayne. That's one of them. He the guy who worked for him, I put him there. I gave him his job. He called me and told me that at the time when DJ was doing really good in high school coming out, he calls me and said, Little Wayne said, congrats, man. And he's happy for DJ. You get stuff like that, phone calls like that, and I'm grateful and thankful. The funny part is I worked for a lot of agents and I worked for a lot of financial advisors at the time for their clients, right? So when it came time to look at agents and financial advisors, I knew them all. I knew all the top guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because I worked for their clients. Sean Merriman. I was his bodyguard. A lot of the NFL guys from the Chargers, from the Rams. I've worked for so many type of genre of people, from basketball, football. I work for lawyers. I work for producers, movie producers. I work for a lot of people, man, and built a lot of relationships. Where now I'm, utilize those relationships now doing my what I'm doing now.
Yeah, I used to work security at Autzen, several years ago. I worked for the
Yeah,
company that runs their inside security
yeah,
for several years, and also did stage builds for all over the country for several years, and
that's right.
that's why I'm broken now and disabled, because I did all that crazy work back in the
Bro,
day and all those hours and Lady Gaga and signing
oh,
NDAs because you're building this elaborate stage and you can't say nothing, and yeah, just some wild. I
you
I, I was like, wow,
you were right there. You're the guys that I always hang around with. I'm the security of the guy, and we're standing there with you.
yep,
So what I mean. You understand those what we what
oh
we did
yeah,
on the road,
yep,
designated area where we stand to watch our client as they perform, and had our plans of getting out of there. A safe place where if something happens, all that stuff, man. And
oh
it
yeah.
was it was fun. It was great while it lasted, but ain't nothing better. To me, I tell people right now, as I live in Eugene, this is the happiest time of my life. To watch my son at the Chargers, and then to watch my son here at Mateo, and then to help a lot of people. But being here in Eugene, I sent a text to both my sons about 3 4 days ago, just telling them thank you for being the kids that you are. Thank you for just blessing me with the life that I have. Meaning, they're not like just being great kids, right? They listened to what I had to say. You know, they were just they never got in trouble.
That's got to be a blessing for Mateo and Pancho to have you there in Eugene now. Oh, what the hell?
Oh, oh.
Oh, did his phone die?
Oh, it might have his phone. Oh
Oh,
no, he's
there he
Yeah,
back.
is.
yeah,
Oh,
my phone was ringing.
oh,
But
I thought we thought he
yeah,
probably were like, oh no, his phone died.
my but I truly am thankful for my sons. I was just saying, I sent them a text to thank them for being such amazing kids and doing everything that me and mom tell them, and to be the successful guys that they are today. And I'm just living a dream right now, and then being able to bless other people with it, right? Other families and their kids. This is what it's all about, guys. And for you guys to ask me to come on the show, I don't take this lightly. I want to thank both of you for giving me this platform to speak and share. I want the Oregon fans to understand what a great school and a program that they have here that's blessing so many other families that's coming in from different places across the country, and to come into your home and to see what you guys see every day and to experience it. And yeah, I'm living a life of gratitude right now, just being grateful. And thank you
Yeah,
guys, man. Thank you.
No, thank you.
thank you,
We thank
man.
you. Yeah, yeah. It's been a pleasure watching Mateo and then watching Poncho. On that side of the ball, it's been great. I and it's really nice to have you on and just hear these stories too, because that's kind of what makes it really personable. It's not just the behind the looking at someone through the face
Yeah,
mask, or with the helmet
yeah,
on, and you're hearing the personal family stories in a way,
yeah,
and it kind of just brings the player even more to life than just the name or the jersey.
yeah. And that's what I love to share. The real stories, right? Man, like you said, Dave, you sure they're gonna want to hear? I don't care what my kids think. Just so you guys know, DJ blocked me that one time when he was in high school. He blocked me
What?
senior. Yeah, well, because he did. I get it. He doesn't want to see all the accolades. So I was a father that always reposts. It's not like I always post say my kids is the best. No, no,
Right.
no, no. They would put out he's a 5 star. I post that. They would put out all this stuff. I will always repost it. He doesn't want to see it because he understands that it takes work to get there, and he doesn't want that to distract him from from all. I get it. That's great, But my kids, like DJ, he would block me. And then sometimes he would try to tell me, like, Dad, you don't have to post that. And then I would tell him, DJ, here, let me tell you something. When you have a kid, you do what the hell you want to do with your kid, okay? Right now, I'm just being a dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being a dad. And it's okay for a dad to be proud of their kids. Granted,
Yeah.
yes, I understand some people not going to like it, and you're probably hearing about it, but you can tell all of them to go to hell because there's nothing wrong for a father to be thankful for their kids. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not saying you're the best or anything like that. I'm just reposting all your accolades, bro. You
Yeah.
know, and if I did say anything, it would be in a place where thank God for him, and he has a lot of work he has to do still, but grateful for the opportunity, or just always in a humble manner, right? Not boasting, but just understanding, be grateful. So
I've seen you breaking down film pieces
yeah,
of your kids' game and critiquing
yeah,
on your channel or on your
yeah,
page from time to time.
yeah,
If they played bad, you're not afraid to say, hey, he messed up on this play, or
yeah,
they,
yeah. And you know why I do it? I, I, if you don't do it, everyone's going to put their narrative on your child. You know what I mean? So
right.
if you post it, I got a platform where I can post it. My goal is hopefully the agents or a scout, NFL scout will see it, right? That's my goal. I hope one of them will see it. That's why I'm posting it, right? I'm not posting it to, nothing else. That's my intentions. My intentions is for the right people to see it, right? And social media, it's a world of narratives, and everyone's going to have their narrative about your kid, my kid, or whatever narrative they want to put out there. I like to call myself the guy who sets the narrative straight. Like,
Yeah.
let me tell the truth of what's really going on and why. You know, and that's kind of like what I do, right? I'm not, and I do that with a lot of athletes. I got another athlete that I represent. His name is Honor Fa'alave. He's the number one ranked safety in the country. Number one. He should be the number one ranked athlete. He plays both sides of the ball. And he was a 5-star as a sophomore. Not sure if you know who Honor Fa'alave is. And he's a big deal. And we represent, I've been with him since junior high school. And everything I did with my kids, I gave it back to them. Told the parents, the son, I they're tripping out because all the things that are coming to them now. I told them this was going to happen when they were in junior high school, right? So I'm just happy that I got to have this family be prepared. You know what I mean? And they're making all the right decisions. They're not being, wine and dine with some people who can just drop names and you just want to sign with just somebody. We have a process, and we go through that process to make sure whatever you sign or whatever you're going to do, it's the betterment of the family, and it best fits for them. So Oregon is one of the big teams that is after honor, and a lot of the top teams in the country are after honor. So
It's a
just
name I'm
thankful.
gonna have to check out.
Yeah,
I've heard the name before
yeah,
in some of the different. I'm on with QB11 and some of those
yeah.
guys, and I'm sure I've heard that name come out before. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'll send you his. If you watch his highlight, it's amazing because it's both sides of the ball. It's him playing DB, free safety, and then he goes play running back and receiver, and it's scoring 80, 70, 80, 60-yard touchdowns because no one can catch him. He runs I want to say a 4.4 laser time. He has a 40-inch vertical. He runs a 10.440, 100 meter.
Wow.
He's explosive. Just watch the film. It's why he's the number one safety in the country in his class, 2027. He's a junior right now, and he is being sought after by all the top schools. I mean, NIL deals is berserk, and it's understandable. I mean, you're the number one guy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
And
Or
all my job is to prepare them for it, and don't allow all this hype, all the things that they put on you, the number one and all this 5-star, all of that stuff don't matter. What matters is what you do on that field and what you're doing to be able to be the best football player you can be. Because what's going to move that NIL needle is not your name, images, and likeness. It's what you do on that
You on the
field.
field. Yep.
Period. Period. That's what's going to happen, so I try to make him stay focused on what matters and don't focus on what doesn't. Stars, rankings, all the accolades, all the attention doesn't matter. What matters is what you do, your preparation, and everything you do that got you here. Stay there, live in that place. Everything you did to get to this point, don't stop doing it. Stay there. He got an offer in 8th grade from USC.
I was gonna say, please don't say USC, because USC is so notorious for this.
He's visiting USC right now, and trust me, USC ain't playing around. I'm just gonna be honest.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so
he needs to focus more on their D line than their safety play.
It's just they're trying to keep all their 5-star number 1 ranked athletes home. I get it.
Yeah, they want to keep them Bosco kids close.
Yeah.
They want to close that fence in Southern California.
Listen, one of our kids is Tom Tom, right? That's one of our kids. Tom Tom was with my Mateo, Tom Tom, Dutch Horace, Epi Citanile. These are all kids that were with my brother. Epi's with Ohio State. Dutch is going to come to Oregon. Tom Tom is at the biggest, D lineman coming in at USC. He was committed to Oregon.
Yep.
But they're not playing over there at USC. They're not playing around. So
and they think that it's funny, is like you were saying earlier, they talk about all this Phil Knight money. They ain't nothing what USC has and what they play with.
And I'm just saying,
and people don't realize that.
At the end of the day, all those kids those are our kids. You know what I mean? I represent those, and Honors Falab is one of them, man. He's doing amazing, and I'm just there for the parents to give them the advice, guide them, not to guide them to the school that they got to go to. Just make sure they make the best decision on a school that they believe that has everything, not just one, not just the money, not just the development, not just the school. You got to account for everything and what's best for your kids. Right?
Our friend Troy's out here already drooling on Epi.
Yeah.
He said he's already flashed his limited time as a freshman so far.
Yes.
How
Yeah.
big of an edge guy he's going to be.
So Troy, understand this. I have a video that I sent of Epi to Larry Johnson when Epi was a 9th grader. That's how far back I go with.
He got another phone call.
I'm not surprised.
He's a popular guy.
At least we know what it is now. Because earlier it was literally, I was like, oh no.
I'm here. No, but
Yeah.
Epi, for Troy, Epi is amazing. Troy. The only thing that I'm so happy about, he's already put on 20 to 30 pounds. I can't imagine Epi with 20 or 30 pounds the way he was playing already. Epi is going to be trouble. I'm telling you, he's another Mateo. He's going to be a guy that they're going to talk about a lot. But Larry Johnson, I have that text when I sent that video to Larry Johnson back when he was a 9th grader, and he was blown away. And that's when it all started for him with Ohio State. So a lot of times people think I don't like Ohio State, but yet I still send them players, right? Like, and USC fans think I'm only for Oregon. They need to thank me for the quarterback that they have. I negotiated that deal for him. I took him away from UNLV. What's his name? Jaden Mayava. I got him away from UNLV and took him right to USC. You know what I mean? So SC fans, stop being mad at me. You know what I mean? You need to thank me for your quarterback. He's amazing right now.
Yeah, USC needs to be mad at Lincoln Riley.
That's right.
Oh
Well,
shoot.
let's do this. I know you're getting some phone calls, which is understandable. You're a busy guy. People are
Yeah,
always trying to get in touch with you, and we've covered a lot tonight. But going back with Mateo, just on the kind of the final stretch here for a second, what are the things so far as we go into this weekend, college game day, big game with Indiana, and then the rest of the season? What are you looking forward to? Because Mateo had his breakout year last year, right? I
yeah,
mean, just breakout year. This year, it's still been solid.
yeah,
But now Tuiotti's on his kind of come
yeah,
out of his own on the other
yeah,
side. Teams
yeah.
know about Mateo. You've got Green and you've got Washington right in the middle of that line. What are you kind of looking forward to? Maybe you're thinking or expecting or hoping for maybe the rest of the season, maybe defensively or just as a team as a whole.
Well, for Mateo, just hoping that he just keeps on progressing, right? As an athlete, as a DN, and learning his trait of being an edge rusher and learning the plays. Just him getting better, right? Every day. I love watching the challenge, right? This year, he has 4 sacks, but if you go watch him, his effort has changed a lot. I think he learned that a lot from his brother on the other side, TLT. The funny thing I say about TLT and Mateo, if you put those two together, you will get the best DN in the world. You know why? Because what Mateo does well, um, Toyota doesn't do well, but what Toyota does well, Mattel doesn't do. So it's like Toyota has the tenacity, the effort, the strength, the power. Mateo has the technique, and the size and all of that. So if that's why they complement each other to me. That's why they're the number one dual athlete edge rushers in the country, and why they're very successful this year, right? Both of them, but for Mateo, I just hope just keep getting better, right? At his and looking forward to the challenge every week. That's what I love. Watching him going up against new competition. And what are you going to do today? Definitely is great if he gets a sack and hopefully reach his goal of 13 or 14 sacks. But at the end of the day, the priority goal is the W. I don't give a damn how we get it. I don't care if you got one tackle or no tackles or no sacks, but we win the game. For me, that's what I'm happy about, right? Let's keep on winning these games, getting a W. But for Mateo, just keep growing as an athlete, learning the game. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I can agree with the Tuioti instance there. He's got like some fire to him.
Yeah,
When he makes a play, he just
yeah.
gets up and he just flexes, and I'm like, okay, guys, calm down.
So the thing is, if you watch Jyoti, he doesn't like when it comes to technique, right? You see Mateo does all the swipes, move, all that stuff, right? Jyoti doesn't. If he could learn that stuff, Jyoti would be so freaking unstoppable. It's the difference between why Mateo gets to the quarterback, I think, because he has those free,
Swiping
those swipe,
techniques are
that all the technique. That's if
that
Teotihuacan
Micah
learns that part.
Parsons in him.
Yeah, if Teotihuacan understands that part of the game, because you're going to have to when you get to the NFL. It's a game of inches, and you got to have that technique. You got to have all of that, and he's learning it right now. They're both work. They're both
right now he's like a bull rush. He just kind of like he powers through everything for the most part.
But he's learning right now. They both are teaching each other. And
both
they're
great.
both, man. And Mateo learns from him. Just I love his attitude, his the way he approaches the game. As you see, Coach Dan Lanning looks to him as a leader. He spoke in that last Duck versus them, video, and they expect a lot from TLT this year, and I'm expecting a breakout year for TLT. Man, he's a amazing kid. I've never met a kid that come in at 215 and gain 30 pounds and 40 pounds in like 6 months. I'm like, what the heck? You know what I mean? Like, Jesus. It's that Oregon nutrition, man. Oregon don't play around.
No.
Yeah, but it was really fun hanging with you guys tonight. I definitely gotta take these calls, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And the last question, real quick: Are you going to be getting drunk with all the students at like 2 a.m. in prep for college game day?
No. I just
You know they're all going to be like absolutely hammered by like
yeah. The
5 a.m.
funny, I have passes to the VIP passes. Hey, if you guys want some, I can give you some VIP passes.
Oh,
and you
well,
can,
there's a guy who's going to game day, so
Yeah.
there he is. He's like, he's
Yeah.
right there. He would be
Yeah.
like,
I'm,
I'll take
I'm
that.
still trying to get into the game because my fixed income ass can't afford those prices. But
And you couldn't get a media pass game because
yeah, and I couldn't get a media pass because it was too big of a game. This is my first year in media.
well, hey, if I could pull some strings, you know damn well I'll let you. I'll let you know.
There you go. There you go. There you go. You're going to game day, though, by the way.
But
Spaz,
you're going,
if
yeah,
you were.
I'll grab you that pass. I'll call a couple of friends of mine that work there and get a couple of those passes for you, buddy.
Absolutely, that'd be awesome. Yeah, and if you hear of anybody that's got a GA, I don't care if it's GA. I'll go sit on the disabled platform. I know where that's at. And they got cush seating there. I'm not sitting on the bench.
The funny story is this. I've been watching, you know, the big screen there on the other side of the stadium where they have the big scoreboard.
Yeah.
So right outside that entrance, they have our tailgate is right there by the Pape soccer field.
Oh, that's where yours is. Okay. I've
Yeah.
been looking for yours when I go.
I'm there, and you're invited. So the funny thing is this: the first game we got there to that, and I'm loving it because such a nice area, and it's right there next to the entrance. So it was time to go in, and me and another father of an athlete was there, and we're sitting down, and they have a TV there of the game, and it was, remember, that first game was hot, and
Yeah.
where we sit at is hot, and I'm looking at the father, he's not getting up, and I go, hey, are we going to go in? He goes to me, why? We got food, we got all the drinks, we got the TV, and we got the shade. I'm not going in, brother. Since that first game, we've been watching that game at the tailgate right there. We haven't gone in. We will go in during the end, right, so we can get on the field and say hi to the kids. But people laugh. You know, people are like, wait, but your son is Mateo. You're not going to watch him? We're watching him right here.
Right here.
In the shade. Watching every move. And we can hear
and if it's raining this weekend, which it doesn't rain at Autzen Stadium, but there is chance.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
the tailgate right there. I'm undercover. I'm going to be right there. I'm not moving. You know what I mean? I'm going to hear everything, announcer everything, and so that's a funny thing, man. We chose to stay at and I hear brothers like you that want to go in the game, and I'm like, I feel bad because I'm over here at the tailgate. I don't want to go in the game. I ain't trying to burn in that, bro. That sun ain't no joke. And I'm wondering why we're not on the other side. Why is home side is not the other side? Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Heck, maybe I'll come just kick it at your tailgate. Watch the game right there.
You can come there, eat, drink, and hang out with us, buddy, all day. Don't worry about it.
You might have found the best spot in the place there, Spaz.
Yeah, might have. I walk right by there.
Yeah.
Going in. That's the entrance I go in there by the
yes.
by
we're right there. You know when you walk in, you see across that walkway, and you see the tents right across this, right in front of it. That's us. The big tent to the right.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Us.
Okay.
Yeah. You're always welcome.
There you go. There you go, Spaz. You might just gotten hooked up with a even better game day than you were planning on, and then you can go tailgate and just chill out and don't have to worry about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, Dave, Big Dave, we really do appreciate it because it's been a while. We were trying to get you on for a while, but obviously very busy. You've got a lot going on, but we appreciate all the time tonight. This is we did an hour and 45 minutes last night.
There you go, buddy.
We're at an hour and 45 minutes again.
That's right. That's right. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you for letting me come on. And I know a lot of people say a lot of bad things about me, man. I hope you guys understand it's all lies, buddy. It's all lies.
Oh, I've known that. I never pay attention to half of that.
Yeah.
I saw what you guys went through, and yeah, you're a bigger man than I, sir.
Look,
You're a bigger man than I.
I learned to let go and let God, buddy. At the end
Yep,
of the day, man, you just got to be grateful for the things you have, and trust me, man. To live in peace is where you want to be. That's what I chase after.
absolutely.
Just be at peace. I don't want to challenge anybody. I don't want unless somebody bothers you and I have to step in as a security guard and protect you, then I'll do that.
Right.
But yeah, you know, that's me.
All right. Well, hey, it was a pleasure having you on, Dave, and we appreciate it. And maybe we'll get together again in the playoffs.
Yes,
Have you
let's
on
do it.
again.
Yeah, and you know where I'm at, so you can come to the game. Every game you hear, and you just come through. Come through.
Okay.
All right.
I will
And
definitely
that's the
do
both
that.
of you. That's both of you.
Okay.
There you go, Ben.
If
I
get up there, if I'm able to.
Yeah. Don't worry, Ben. Just get up here. I'll get you in.
I'm only 2 hours away. I just got to
Mhm.
I just got to drive down the road.
I'm only like a
Hey.
6-hour flight.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well,
Oh,
thank you,
All right,
Dave.
Dave.
We
Well, thanks
appreciate
again.
it. Enjoy your
Okay.
night and take those phone calls.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks. Yeah, that was nice. Oh, now he's
Oh,
back.
You're still there.
He's like, he just
We thought you were leaving.
I'm gonna leave, brother. Sorry about that.
No,
That's
you're
all
good.
right. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it,
All
brother.
right.
See you
Take care.
Saturday.
Yes, sir.
I'll get a hold of you Friday night somewhere to try to meet up to get those passes or whatever for game day.
Okay. I got you.
Or meet up down there if you're going to be at game day.
Yeah. No, I'm good, brother.
Too early for your ass, huh?
Too early for me,
He's
buddy.
like, no.
Hey, but who knows? I might go with you. Let's go. Because we won't be
All right.
standing where we'll be in VIP. You
There
We'll
know?
be
you
up
go.
there by the ESPN guys.
Yes. We'll be
Yeah.
in backstage.
Oh
All right.
God, I'm gonna have to
Heck
see.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
see Spaz on national television from
I'll be
Houston.
I'll
Oh
be live
God.
streaming. I'm going to be live streaming Big Dave backstage.
Let's do it.
God.
All right,
All
man.
right.
I'll see you
Okay,
this
brother.
weekend, sir.
Yes, sir. Take care.
Have
All
fun.
right.
Thanks,
All right.
Dave.
Yeah.
I'll
See,
just
he's good.
remove
we
him.
go. There we
I'll
go.
just remove him just in
Either-
case he comes back on and he's like, wait, why am I still here? Well, that was fun.
I was not expecting almost 2 hours. That was
Oh my God, no. I was like, I looked at the
awesome.
time. I just looked at the time. I just told you beforehand, we are not doing an hour and 45 minutes like last night, and we're an hour and 48 minutes. I'm telling you, thank God I skipped my show earlier because I'd be like dying, absolutely dying right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved every second of this. Great stories, great information. No, there will be no encore.
I know.
Absolutely not.
He's
Absolutely
still in
not.
there somewhere.
I don't know what's going on. It's like flickering on and off in the backstage.
He's
Not him.
probably not. Yeah, it's probably because he's not
The tab
he
is
hasn't
still open.
left-
He probably
left.
minimized the tab, but
and
not
didn't hang it
closed
up.
Yeah, or not. Yeah. That's why I was like, I'll just. Yep, he's
Oh,
still
there
there.
he is.
Welcome back,
Oh, shit.
Dave. No, I'll remove him. He needs to just close the tab. It's just flickering back and forth.
Just close the tab, David. It'll take you out. But he's not doing it right.
It's all right. It's all right. The tab is still open. I think that's why. So it's still connected, even though it's not up front to a degree. Yeah, that was great fun. Lots of good stories. Lots of good information too.
Yeah.
These are the things that we don't hear about as fans.
Thank you,
hear these
JPM.
things.
Hey,
That's
yeah,
great,
glad
that's
you
great.
found us, and this is where we're at now. Yeah. God, keep getting guests like that.
Yeah, and JPM was asking
That's
about a question earlier, and yeah, we addressed it earlier in the show. So you were
in
good,
the first like
JPM.
20 minutes.
Yeah,
That was
you
one
were
of the
good. You were good. Definitely go back and watch it because yeah, there was a lot of good information. Again, as fans, we don't hear these types of stories or behind the scenes kind of things, and so it's really fun to get that kind of context. And Dave is very open about the information, which is cool. As he says, "Who cares? I'm the dad. I can say what I want." Oh, Big Dave's around. He's on Ryan Winters. He's been on Ryan Winters a couple times, right?
yeah, he's been
I
on
think
Ryan's a couple
I
times.
think he's been on Ryan Winters. Sports Chat 503. He's been over there a couple times. I don't know if he's ever done 2 hours though. Maybe we hit a special core of questions there. But anyways, one great questions too from the chat. There were some good ones. Sorry, Troy, we didn't get to yours about the NIL. I know you had this one. It was starting in the background, kind of started running over time. So sorry about that. We didn't get to that one, Troy. But yeah, it's some good questions from the chat overall. I like that. It's a great participation. Spaz, text your lover later. He's already texting Dave. Hi, Dave.
No.
Oduck 30 or Oduck cheerleader?
No, texting my kid saying, time to wake up early on Saturday.
You just you just got potentially hooked up with even way better than you could ever imagined.
Yeah, because that's a perfect spot where he's at. Right, you look right into the stadium and you see the big ass scoreboard.
I'm talking
right there.
I'm talking also the game day.
Oh yeah,
You were already
right?
going anyway, so see, that's why we brought it up. So now you got hooked up potentially. So
yeah,
yeah. Ryan doesn't do 2 hours. Ryan does like 40-minute shows. Sometimes
no, he does
he
some.
He does like an hour and a half sometimes. He does
Yeah.
do like an hour and a half once in a while. Once in a while.
Sometimes he'll go for a little bit.
Once in a while. It's all right. Well, Spaz, we got a big game this weekend.
Yeah.
I need a couple days to recover. I'm done.
And it looks like I might be there. Might get to.
If I see your dumbass on fucking TV as soon as I turn on game day in the morning, I am going to shut it off. No.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
I will shut it off. Swear to God. That's the last thing I want to see at 8 a.m. Central Time. I turn on the TV and there's a zoom in of Spaz on national television. Do not take a sign that says Ben sucks it or something like that.
Oh, yeah. He does. I never thought of that. That's a good point, JPM. Yeah. Yeah, he does sound like Patrick.
All right. Well then, Spaz, any final thoughts here quick? And then I think we'll roll the Mateo outro that was going to be the intro, but and we'll end it that way.
Sounds good to me, man.
I think we'll end it in reverse.
Ah, yeah. Glenn, are you going to game day?
Please. Spaz,
Glenn, if you're going.
Spaz, I swear to God, if you do not make a sign that says Quacking Off with Ben and Spaz on YouTube and flash it in front of the TV or get the duck to grab it and throw it up or something, I swear to God, Spaz, you're wasting your time.
Yeah, I think I should. And
you should. You need to. I mean, don't you write it. Have Mrs. Spaz do it because her handwriting's probably a lot neater than yours.
Yeah.
Fidget you old
man. And I'll put a big picture of I'll take a a picture of you, and I'll put your head on one side and mine on the other, and the duck in the middle.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, please put the duck somewhere because otherwise it will scare everyone away.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Troy, I asked a lot of the big questions tonight. You weren't here earlier. Hey, Duck cheerleader.
They've
Wanna
been
go
long.
hang out?
They've been long gone. Yeah, they've been long gone. They posted like once at the beginning.
I know.
Before we went live,
Once or twice.
they probably fell asleep. Remember, they're Eastern time.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Yeah, you need to do that. It could be the simplest sign ever in the world, but if you're in that area and you can get on the TV area and do a Quacking Off with Ben Spaz sign, yeah, do it. Especially if you can get the duck somehow to do it. Oh, take it. You know he will. Oh no!
Oh, still here.
Oh shit, they're still here. What a weird.
So now's the chance. Hey, are you in my time zone, Duck? Because if you were listening to the show, I got a couple passes to go hang out backstage at ESPN on Saturday. Want to join?
What type of? Was that a date offer?
It's an offer to hang out. Yeah.
That's a date. You're killing me over here.
Trying to, but yeah. What JPM? Quack is good for you. All right, let's wrap this up. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Please. Thank God. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Great questions from the chat too. Join us Saturday for the post game show following the Indiana game, and Saturday night for the After Dark show. Wow. Your stalker turned you down. Wow. That's a low light. That's a low. No, I can't even think anymore. Whatever. You got turned down by your stalker.
Yep.
All right. Join us post game and then the After Dark show Saturday night. Wow. Sad spaz.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Enjoy the outro that was the intro, but now is the outro. And we'll see you all Saturday for the post game and the After Dark show.
And maybe for some game day pregame.
Ooh.
Check your notifications.
Yeah. That's true. Check your reception there when you're there. I'll be up for it. So enjoy some Mateo outro highlights things. I can't even think anymore. Fuck off.
It will be a run. Henderson. Not there. Uiagalelei having a day. 4th down. Has not thrown an interception tonight. Pressure comes over the middle. It's caught, and that is a massive hit. Uiagalelei. Empty for Williams. And the rush comes. The rush gets home. Uiagalelei. To throw on 2nd down. Lock, batted down, picked off! Mateo Uiagalelei seals the deal and keeps Oregon undefeated.
Fuck Washington.
Quack.